Hello, I'm going to talk to you about AI language tutors. Now first, what exactly is an AI language tutor? There have been so many of these types of apps that have appeared in the last couple of years, but I've noticed that right now in 2024, there are still a lot of language learners that don't yet know about them. So an AI language tutor is an app that uses AI to give spoken or written conversation practice in the language that you're learning. And they usually do a few other useful things too. But I think the most interesting aspect is the conversation practice, because with these apps, you can practice speaking a language in a way that you would have previously really needed another person for. This is a subject I've been following for years. In fact, back in 2019, I gave a talk at a conference about using chatbots for learning English. But the chatbots we have available today are infinitely better than they were then. When ChatGPT was invented, it suddenly became really easy to produce one of these AI conversation partners. So in the last couple of years, I've seen at least 15 apps that do it. And there are probably more than 15 more that I don't know about. Some of these apps are nothing special, but a few of them are really powerful and really useful. I've tested about 6 of them in depth, and today I'll give you a demo of the one that I think is the best, and I'll explain why I think it's the best. If you want to read about some of the other ones I tested, I've put a link in the description to an article where I talk about those. So my favourite is called Langua. I'll put a link to it in the description to make sure you get the right one, because it's currently only available on the web. You won't find it on the app stores. So here are 5 reasons why I prefer Langua to other AI language practice apps that I tested. Number 1, the computer-generated voices are more natural than in other apps. They actually sound really realistic, at least for English and Spanish, which are the 2 languages that I know.
Welcome to our estate agency here in London. Are you looking to rent or buy a property in the city?
¿Qué tipo de actividades te interesan más durante tu visita?
And you can even choose from different accents of the language. Number 2, the responses you get from the AI are short and natural and not too formal. A few of the apps I tested gave responses that were quite long and wordy and a bit unnaturally formal. But in Langua, they're more like you'd get in a real-life conversation. And you can even choose to increase the amount of slang in the responses, which made me very excited when I heard all the Mexican slang, because I love that.
¿Qué onda, Sara? ¿Cómo andas, chava? ¿De qué quieres platicar hoy?
Number 3, in Langua, it's really quick and easy to dive straight into any conversation. Also, there are so many options for different types of conversations and scenarios. Number 4, what you say will be corrected by the AI, which is so useful. I've done a lot of research into how accurate these AI corrections are across all AI language apps, and it's never 100% reliable in any app. I'd say it's helpful about 90% of the time. So it sometimes misses mistakes, and it sometimes changes something when your version was actually absolutely fine. But I do think Langua's corrections are more reliable than some. And finally, number 5, I like that in Langua it's really easy to click a new word and save it to a list to check later. Some other apps do have this, but I found the process especially easy in Langua. Now there are a few other features too, but the aspect I've described here are what I love the most. So give it a try. I'd love to hear your experiences with it in other languages besides English and Spanish.